When stretching the fire line, your number one goal is to place it between the fire and any victims to protect egress. Generally, this is accomplished through the main entrance door of an occupancy, which is usually the front door. This position enables you to protect the means of egress, interior stairs, and the main exit corridor in multifamilies. When sizing up the stretch, you must first begin at looking at three sides of the building. You should almost always be able to tell what's going on, where the fire is, and any occupants by looking at three sides of the building. If there is smoke on any level of a balloon frame, you must assess the basement. If the building is on a grade and there is likely a walkout basement with a basement fire, then attack from there. All things you can usually tell from a three-sided look. So how do we get a look at three sides? Most times this is accomplished by pulling past the address. If you cannot pull past, then you should walk to the side you can't see upon arrival. So where's the fire? If it isn't obvious and there are occupants meeting you, then you need to ask them. Ask them where the fire is. Ask them how do I get there. Ask them if there's any occupants. It sure is nice to be told that the fire's up the stairs to the right in the second room on the right. That's good information when there's zero visibility. If there are multiple entrances, you need to assess which one you will use before committing hose. This needs to be a conversation before you arrive with firefighters on your company. If it's not obvious, the officer needs to recon and determine the right entrance. Stairs are the main egress and access point. We must protect them at all times during any operation. When fighting the fire offensively, we must make sure we're able to get the line into service as quickly as possible. The first line is usually through the front door to protect the means of egress. On residences or multifamilies, this is usually accomplished with 1 3/4 inches for speed and mobility. The first line goes to the fire. If the first line is having a difficult stretch or they're having any kind of issue, the second engine must help. If the first engine doesn't need help, the second engine is to stretch a backup line to protect the first line. You need to be there if they have trouble, be able to stretch past them if they're stalled and unable to move, and then also be able to reposition to an interior exposure, which is usually the floor above, once the fire is knocked down. So as an officer of the second due engine, how do you assess if they're good? You should follow their line, see if it's moving, see if it's caught or kinked, see if they don't have enough people because of the length of a stretch or the vertical height of a stretch in the stairs. You can follow their line to where they're operating. It lets you know exactly where the fire was and their status before you leave and reposition above. If the second engine is assisting the first engine, that makes the third engine backup per our procedures. If the second engine isn't helping and backup isn't needed, the third engine should stand by for command to issue another directive or order, which may be stretching another line. That other line may involve other exposed areas of the building on the interior, in the attic, walls, or floors above. Exposure protection on the exterior or another fireground task may also be assigned to that third engine.